Good evening, everyone. My name is Marcia Burke, the Public Relations Officer of the Barbados Union of Teachers. I have with me here this evening the President, Mr. Pedro Shepherd, who is going to be doing a press release on our the summer school initiative. Mr. President?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I want to take this opportunity to address a matter which has presented itself in the public arena over the last week or so. I speak specifically to the proposed summer school initiative called Bounce Back, as enunciated by the Ministry of Education. From our reports, it is to address deficits in students' learning as perceived by the Ministry of Education, due in part largely to nature, COVID-19, and volcanic ash. One might recall that in March 2020, the world was thrown into a place no one ever imagined, and ever since then, nothing has been the same. The Barbados Union of Teachers' position on all matters since the appearance of COVID-19 has proven to be the correct one to be taken. Instead, however, we continue to have our valued opinions disregarded. So here we are today, responding to the ministry's proposal for summer school for primary school students from July to August 2021. Let me state that the Executive Committee of the Barbados Union of Teachers held a meeting with its membership last Wednesday, June 16, 2021, to discuss the proposal for summer school, and every single teacher who attended voted a resounding no to the proposal. This information was taken back to the Ministry of Education by our General Secretary on Friday at the Bounce Back Committee meeting attended by all stakeholders. This was the meeting where all four unions and associations, the Barbados Union of Teachers, the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, the Association of Principals of Primary Schools, and the Association of Principals of Public Secondary Schools, representing education, rejected the proposal. According to the ministry, the proposed summer school will help bring back on track students, since they would have missed out on valuable instruction and would have developed learning deficits due to the lack of normal face-to-face instruction. The BUT and its membership does not dispute that fact. As a matter of fact, we would go further to say that students have already had deficits. Deficits are nothing new. From time immemorial, we have had students with deficits for one reason or the other. Some having nothing to do with teachers or school administrators. Let us not blame COVID or the ashfall for teachers or online teaching for these inherent or perceived deficiencies. We must never blame our teachers. We must never blame our administrators for these perceived deficiencies. Let us not blame COVID or the ash. Truth be told, it is largely due to an outdated education system. As I said before, during our meeting, our members expressed their views and general feelings on the proposal. By the end of the meeting, when a vote was taken, the teachers emphatically and unanimously rejected the summer school for teachers. Firstly, the deduction that significant deficits exist among our students from infants 8 to class 3, based on the results of the class 4 assessment, is educationally unsound. There's really no data from which this conclusion was deduced. The conclusion is therefore not data-driven. Again, Even if the above conclusions were found to be accurate, how would 3 weeks of summer school resolve the deficits for students who are already mentally tired, exhausted, stressed, and worn out by the vagaries of the lockdowns, curfews, protocols, alphabet system, etc., caused by the pandemic? Some consideration and greater compassion needs to be shown to these students and their mental health challenges, which they would have endured during this crisis. Students really need the summer to play, to rest, to relax, and to recharge. This is therefore an opportunity for them to further develop their social skills. It is the view of the Barbados Union of Teachers that this proposal will lead to significant burnout of the students. Any deficits can be accounted for in the upcoming school year. Barbados is blessed with an excellent cohort of well-trained teachers who will make up for any lost time. Additionally, students all over the world have had the same experiences with the pandemic. Our students, therefore, are not unique in this regard. As it relates to the teachers, it is our belief that this group of workers are also physically and mentally tired and exhausted from the tremendous sacrifices which they have made over the last year since the pandemic has presented. Teachers have answered the call for online teaching with the requisite training and have ensured that the students of Barbados have not been left behind. However, the long hours of preparation for online teaching, long hours of springtime, the mental strain of the occupation itself, and the stresses of the lockdown have all affected us. This is clearly not an appropriate time for this proposal. Like the students, our teachers need a break to rest, relax, and recharge so that we all return to our classrooms energized, willing, and raring to get to the task of educating the nation's children in September. I believe the deficits will be better addressed by putting a proper system in place after identifying the said deficits. You cannot tell me that you are engaging retired educators and volunteers without even knowing the deficits to be addressed. This is madness, perceived madness. The assessment of students of the age groups being targeted for summer school are now being conducted. Has consideration been given to the group of workers, principals, and ancillary staff? And when will they be provided with evocation? When will this cohort be able to prepare the schools for the new school year, starting in September 2021? Has this been carefully thought out? Additionally, this proposal is ultra-virus. It has clearly ignored custom and practice and is a blatant attempt to change the terms and conditions of teachers. In this regard, the union has no other option but to advise its members not to participate, since this sets a dangerous precedent. The proposal actually stretches the school year, way beyond its customary 38 weeks. The additional proposal of 6 weeks makes it a 44-week school year. The proposal constitutes a continuation of regular school, July 12th to 30th, 2021, and August 9th to 27th, 2021. The Barbados Union of Teachers queries what will happen to the annual summer school repair program. Given the summer school proposal, it can be concluded that there will be no such program this year, or will there be a clash of events on some school plans? The union has taken note of the fact that the Ministry of Education has now made the proposal for summer school voluntary for those who want to participate, even though all the major stakeholders have rejected it. The union notes that it deeply cares for the health and welfare of its members and the students of this country, but it is strong in its resolve that this proposal is inconsiderate and ill-conceived. Therefore, until our members say different, the Barbados Union of Teachers rejects any notion of summer school which involve teachers who are currently in active service, whether temporary or permanent. Thank you.
So there you have it, straight from the mouth of our president, Mr. Pedro Shepherd. The union reiterates its point that teachers will not be participating in summer school. That is the union's perspective. Teachers will not be participating in the summer school program. Thank you.
Good.